For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.
What's up, guys? Ian here, and today I'm going to be profiling for this Deck Tech Thursday my Broski GX deck. Now, we have yet to do one of these for Standard, and we were actually going to, but then we decided with a lot of the Expanded Regionals coming up, you know what, let's make it Expanded. Because go figure, to everyone's surprise, Gardevoir GX is actually doing very well in Expanded as well as Standard. Well, who are we kidding? Standard Gardevoir is Standard format. Like, there's no way around it. It literally is Standard format. But, no one was really expecting a Stage 2 deck to do very well Expanded, because usually it's basics to some Stage 1s are usually the ones that dominate it. But it's so powerful that it is done a fighting job in Expanded format, and I'm going to show you right now how. So first of all, we got the 4 Ralts, got the 2 Kirlia, that's where I was going with that, and we have the 3 Gardevoir GX. Now, what makes this Gardevoir so good is everything. Everything about my broski on this card's amazing. First of all, let's go over the ability, Secret Spring. You attach a fairy energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon in addition to your attachment for turn. So, you're attaching at least 2 energy per turn, if not more, depending on how many other Gardevoirs you can get out. Infinite Force. Oh my Primal Fish, it is an amazing attack. Single fairy, you do 30 damage for each energy attached to both your broski and your opponent's active. So, it's similar to Mega Mewtwo's attack. Mega Mewtwo Y, say. But you apply weakness. So if you go up against a dragon, just 3 energy and you're one-shotting it entirely. And not to mention Twilight GX, the GX attack for Broski is pretty good as well. You shuffle 10 cards from your discard pile into your deck. For Standard, this is really good against Trashy Lands because you basically just laugh at their face and give the biggest, most satisfied grin when you shuffle all your items and reduce their damage to 0. But it's very good overall outside of that because it helps you get back a lot of resources that you would need. Alright, so something else we're going to evolve to. It's going to be 2 copies of Gallade, 1 Psychic, 1 Fighting. Now, most just play the Fighting type Gallade, but there's a lot of potential with this one as well. So, not too much needs to be said about this Gallade. Premonition, look at your top 5 cards, put them in any order. Double colors, Sensitive Blade, 60, 70 more, replay a supporter. Nothing special, but I'm noticing a lot of people are not really playing this Gallade here, which, it's a bit of an older card, yes, but it's so good for this deck. For double colors, Powerful Storm, does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And that's so good, especially considering that you can attach multiple energy per turn thanks to your Gardevoir GXs. So, if you've got stuff that's weak to Psychic, and you don't really have anything attached to your Gardevoir to knock it out, just start attaching everywhere else, attach double colors to your Gallade, boom, one-shot it. No problem. This can one-shot anything without having to dedicate so much energy to this one card. So it really helps out on that, not to mention it's a one-prize attacker. So really good there. And Psychic's a pretty decent type, as I said before, it's a decent type to be hitting for weakness, so. I mean, Fighting's not too terrible either, but there's definitely a lot of things weak to Psychic roaming around Expanded right now. And being able to one-shot with that is pretty dang cool. So next up for Pokemon, they're going to help us out here. 2 Sparkle Army Leader, DNC himself. Now, we don't really focus on Diamond Storm, though it's pretty cool. 2 Energy Fairy and colors, does 30 and heal 30 damage from all your Fairy Pokemon. So, not bad if you're in an absolute pinch. But I would prefer that just be a single Fairy energy instead of just a Fairy and a colorless, but what can you do? The real reason you run this card in here is for Sparkling Wish. You search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. So let's say your turn 2? No, not turn 2. Well, you're going second on your turn 1. You have DNC inactive, you put down a Ralts, you can use Sparkling Wish to go right into a Kirlia. Or say if it's your second turn, and you don't have that rare candy to go into your Gardevoir, you evolve Kirlia, Sparkly Wish, you go right into your Gardevoir or one of your Gallades. Such an amazing card. Not to mention, item lock is definitely a thing, and this helps you get out your stage 2s even through the item lock. So, very good. Alright, we also have 2 Tapu Lele here, and 1 Shaman to wrap it up. So, Tapu Lele, very standard. 1 attack, such a supporter. Not to mention, Energy Drive is a good attack as well, which you could power up with Gardevoir if need be. And Shaman, just because it's a stage 2 deck, I want to have options to draw. A lot of, like, the standard ones, you run Artillery, which is fine for standard, but expanded, that's too much room, so gotta go with the basic old meta. It's like, look at me. I am the meta now. That's right. Lele is pretty much the meta now. Lele has replaced Shaman as meta. Confirmed. And with that, that is going to be it for our Pokemon lineup. And now for our supporter lineup. Play 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. 3 copies of N. Very standard. 1 Colress. Just because Colress is such an amazing supporter for Expanded. Oh man, I hope he gets reprinted in Sun and Moon as with like the same effect, which I know I doubt that would happen. There's almost no way they would do that, but I gotta get hope. So for those of you who don't know what Colress does, because I know Expanded is still new to a lot of people, you shuffle your hand to your deck, then you draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon for both yours and your opponents. So you could draw up to 10 cards with this. And that's not including if they play Skyfield. If they play Skyfield, oh man, you can draw up to a maximum of 16 cards with this. It's insane. Alright, next up for supporters, I've got 2 copies of Guzma. Some people are still running Lysander and Expanded, which that's completely fine. I personally prefer Guzma. I think Guzma is so much better. And last up here for our supporters, we got 1 Skyla, because this is a stage 2 deck. We need to get out our trainers as quickly as possible. And speaking of stage 2, Bridget. Now, anytime you're playing a stage 2 deck, Expanded, Standard, you play Bridget. Bridget is so good, and it's honestly, I believe at least 40% of why Gardevoir is doing as well as it's doing Expanded right now is because of Bridget. Just such a good card. So good. Alright, and that does it for our supporters. Nothing too flashy. Now let's get into our items here. It's going to be pretty standard stuff here for a bit. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. 4 copies of VS Seeker, which we can only play in Expanded now. But that's okay, because for Standard, when Crimson Invasion comes out, we're getting Lucamine, so that's going to help us out quite a bit. And since this is a Stage 2 deck, we are going to be running 3 copies of Rare Candy. Now, I'm personally running 3, not 4, because of the ANSI, and because of all the ways that we have to get out our Rare Candy. But if you feel more comfortable with 4, that's perfectly fine as well. I just personally think 4 is too much, because you end up either Sycamoring or Ultra Balling away at least one of these Rare Candies. So, that's why I think 3 is the perfect number, especially since you don't necessarily need the Rare Candy to get into your Gardevoir quickly. And as I said before, item lock is most certainly a thing, so you don't want to limit yourself to just items to speed it up, and heaven forbid, your items get blocked and you can't play. Alright, next up here, I run 3 copies of Choice Band. This card is so amazing. I swear, even though for Expanded, I think this replaces Muscle Band entirely. Like, this hits almost everything for 30 more. Granted, you don't hit the non-EX or GX for anything extra, but for non-EX and GX, Gardevoir is already doing so much damage that you're one-shotting it anyway, so that's why Choice Band over Muscle Band. I think I've seen a couple people still run Muscle Band, but I don't know. I personally think Choice Band's replaced it, but if you want Muscle Band, hey, that's you guys. You do you. Alright, next up here we have 3 copies of Trainer's Mail. Now, this is, I don't usually run Trainer's Mail in decks anymore, and if I do, it's only a 2 of, but I upped it up to 3 because of the fact that we're dealing with Stage 2, and if we're not item locked, we want to get our Rare Candies ASA now, so Trainer's Mail helps with that along with Skyla. And we are going to also be running 2 copies of Field Blower. Such an amazing card. Get rid of 2 of any combination of a tool and a stadium, or 2 tools, or just the 1 stadium. And it's either yours or your opponent's, so in those weird situations where you need to get rid of one of your own tools, that this would help quite a bit. And last up for our item, it's going to be 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. You can replace it with Super Rod if you wish. It's just, I've never really found myself in a situation where having all my energy in a discard was a problem, because you have Twilight GX to bring it all back. So, and I also prefer Rescue Stretcher being able to like put a card in my hand. Let's say if I have a Ralts on the field and a rare candy, but I don't have a way to get Gardevoir, boom, you just do Rescue Stretcher, put one of your discard to your hand, and go for rare candy into your Gardevoir. That's why I prefer Rescue Stretcher. I tried Super Rod, but I never used it. But once again, if you prefer Super Rod here to be safe, you go right ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Alright, and that does it for our items. I do not run any stadiums in this deck because a lot of Gardevoirs do not run it. Mainly because they don't have the room, but you also don't really need a stadium. Fairy Guard, I don't think is really necessary. But it's not a bad card to have if you want. So for our energy, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basic fairy energy. 2, 3, 4 double colorless, and 1 wonder energy. Now, wonder energy, the reason I run one of this is because it actually does help with some matchups. It helps you against Greninja because when they Shadow Stitch, if you have this attached to your Gardevoir, that ability will still be active. Trevenant, when they use Silent Fear, this protects you from the Silent Fear. So, there's a lot of attacks where this comes in handy for. And also, let's say an attack that would get rid of a special energy. Not only would your Wonder Energy be protected because it's still effective in an attack, but it also protects your double colors from being removed from that attack as well. So definitely a lot more situations that this comes in handy for Expanded than ever did in Standard. So definitely at least a 1. If you want to put it up to 2, that'd be okay, but I would definitely not go beyond 2. 1 to 2 Wonder Energy is perfectly fine. So there you guys have it. That is how I run my Expanded Broski GX deck. It's a very good deck for Expanded. It's the standard format deck. Nothing, man. Even Metagross doesn't automatically win against this. That's how powerful it is, and Metagross is good overall. So yeah, insane deck. They always make Gardevoir so broken. I don't know why. Why? But anyways, let's see how broken it is tomorrow against when I face off again for Professor K for Battle Frontier Friday. So, if you guys enjoyed this neat little deck profile, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And come back tomorrow for the battle. Hopefully my little winning streak can continue, but that doesn't happen too much. Shameful! I want to win! Anyways, this has been Andy with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and I'll catch you guys later.